Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Alright, so today I'm taking a look at the Nitecore MH12 version 2. Let's check it out. Alright, so let's check out the box here real quick. On top here, you see it is the MH12 version 2. You can see right there, it is a 1200 lumen flashlight. And right there, it uses a Cree XP-L2 V6 LED. And what I really like about this new MH12 is USB-C charging. Obviously, it comes with its own 21700 battery. There's some of the specs here on the side. Turn around to the back, there's a bunch of words, but I'll go over that later. All right, so let's take everything out of the box. All right, so here it is, the Nitecore MH12 out of the box. But before we start talking about this, what else came in the box? All right, so first we have our hard plastic holster. Now as holsters go, it's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of holsters, but as they go, it's all right. And then next we have our USB Type-C charging cable. We have our standard lanyard. And right here we have a pretty nice black pocket clip. Looks like they give us an extra rubber O-ring. And then right here looks like another rubber tail cap piece, just in case this one gets worn out. And yes, a 21700 battery does come with the MH12 version 2, but if you want to use an 18650 or a CR123 or a couple CR123 batteries, they give you this little adapter. Next, they give you a warranty card. And then last but not least, they give you your standard user manual. All right, so now let's take a closer look at this Nitecore MH12 version 2. So the first time I saw this, I was like, it's pretty long. That's right, this thing measures 6.22 inches long. I'm not really sure why they decided to make this such a long flashlight, but I'm pretty sure just the length of this flashlight would turn some people off right away. But I'll talk about that a little later on in this video. So as you can see, I slapped on that pocket clip there. As you can tell, I like the orientation lens down. So since I like to carry these flashlights in my pocket, that's why I was concerned with the length of this flashlight. Overall, it's built pretty solid. It's constructed from an aero-grade aluminum alloy and has a military-grade anodized finish. So just feeling this, yeah, it feels pretty solid. Take a look at the bezel here. It's not too aggressive. They don't consider this a tactical flashlight. This is more of an EDC or light-duty flashlight, but it's still nice to have somewhat of a bezel there. Right under that heat symbol, we have our side switch. Now this will switch between our brightness levels, and there is an LED embedded in there. And that LED indicator will let us know when the flashlight is charging, and it will let us know the battery charge. Now right here under this rubber flap, we have our USB Type-C charging port. Take a look at the end here. There's our spot for our lanyard. And then right here, we have our rubberized tactical tail switch, where we can activate the flashlight with either a half press or one hard press. So you might be asking what's upgraded in version 2. Well, it has triple the runtime and is 20% brighter with those 1200 lumens. So speaking about that runtime, let's check out the battery. So I'm gonna unscrew this, check out the battery. So it's a 5000 milliamp, 3.6 volt, 21700 rechargeable battery. So even though Nitecore says this has electronic reverse polarity protection, you still can't put this battery in whichever way you want to. You still have to make sure that the positive is facing down. Now, like I said earlier, the length of this flashlight might turn some people off, but I can see why they did it. This actually feels very nice and natural holding it in your hand. And this mode switch is in a perfect spot right where my thumb is, and look at how much room I have on the end here. So it's almost a perfect size for my hand. I know some of you might not like holding your flashlights like this. Some of you like to do this, and some of you like to do this. I mean, I can go either way, but I'm saying it still feels very nice holding it this fashion. All right, so let's talk dimensions. As I mentioned earlier, the length is 6.22 inches and the width is 1.07 inches, and it weighs 2.98 ounces. Well, that's according to the website, but I'm gonna test that out right now. All right, so they say 2.98 ounces. Let's plop it on there. That's what I thought. It's 5.7 ounces. So I'm guessing the weight that they quoted on the website is without the battery. And if I change it to grams, it's 162 grams. But let's take that weight without the battery. Put the tail cap back on. That's 92 grams, and that equals out to be 3.2 ounces. Okay, it's still not matching up. Maybe they did it without the pocket clip. So let's take off that pocket clip and weigh it again. Hold on. 3 ounces. All right, so that's where the 2.98 ounces came from. They just weighed it as just a hollow shell without the battery, without the pocket clip. All right, so before I start going over the modes, let's talk brightness output. So there's 4 brightness modes. There's an ultra low mode at 1 lumen, that'll last for 1500 hours. Low mode is 55 lumens, that'll last for 46 hours. The mid mode, that's 300 lumens, that'll last for 8 hours. And then we go to high mode, that's our 1200 lumens, that'll last for 3 hours and 45 minutes. Then you see there's a strobe, beacon, and SOS. Those are all 1200 max lumens. So on top of that 1200 max lumens, we have a maximum throw of 202 meters. It has a candela rating of 10,200. The impact resistance is 1 meter, and it has an IP68 dustproof and waterproof rating. Now, I will be dropping this in some water a little later on in this video, but just not 6 feet of water. All right, let's talk about the modes here. So, of course, we have our tactical tail switch. I have press on for tactical mode, or we can hard press it on and it'll stay on our last setting. So we switch our brightness levels with our side switch right here. So there's our ultra low, low, medium, and there's our high 1200 lumens. So it does have an auto memory, so if I turn it off, turn it right back on, it will remember our last brightness level. So here's ultra low, turn it off, turn it back on, ultra low. So how do we get to our 3 special modes? Well, hold down the side switch here, and there's our strobe. Now turn the strobe off, you just give it 1 quick press, turns it off. This is one thing I'm not the biggest fan of, how you switch between our special modes. So once again, we hold it down to get to our special modes, but you have to keep it held down. There's our beacon. Now from here, I can't just get to our last mode, which is SOS. I have to give it another press, get back to our last brightness level, hold it down again, strobe, beacon, and now it gets to our SOS. So you have to do it all in one pressing. So the UI in this flashlight is pretty good in my opinion, except for when we get to those special modes. Also, I want to mention that strobe is a memory function. So if I turn it off while on strobe, turn it back on, and there's our strobe again. Our memory function will not remember SOS or beacon. So this flashlight features 2 user modes. Right now I currently have it in daily mode, and to get to tactical mode, what you want to do is hold down that side switch, turn it on, and keep holding it down for about 5 seconds. Right there. You couldn't really see it because my thumb was over the side switch, but it flashes blue when the modes are switched. So now in tactical mode, instead of going ultra low, low, medium, high, it starts at high and goes backwards. So high, medium, low, ultra low. Now in tactical mode, you lose the SOS and beacon, but one single hold down is always strobe. And of course, it still remembers it if you turn it off from the back tail switch. And to get it back, all you have to do is hold down that button again, press the tail switch, keep holding it for about 5 seconds. And there's our flash. And we're right back in daily mode where it goes from low to high in that order. Now you can check your voltage level the same way. What you want to do is hold down that side switch here, press the tail switch, and then instantly let that go. Now you see those flashes? 4 flashes means 4 volts, and then it goes crazy apparently. No, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to flash how many volts it has, and about 1.5 seconds later, it'll flash again and then go right back to your last setting. So if I do it again, in a second, right there, I have it on low, hold it down, press it in, instantly let it go, it'll flash 3, 4, it'll flash one more time, and then go back to our last setting. It seems a little overcomplicated to me since most batteries just have a light right there after it gets to a certain percentage. All right, so next I want to check out how hot this head gets after it's on high for about 2 minutes. So I'm going to put this light on high for about 2 minutes. I'm going to time it with the stopwatch on my phone, and then I'm going to take its temperature with this handy dandy infrared thermometer. There's high right there. And start. See you in 2 minutes. All right, so right there we hit the 2 minute mark. So let me get an accurate reading on the head. So it says 105.9. Let me just take that again real quick. No, see, I got the desk, that's what I thought. So it's 109.9. So it's actually not too bad. Yeah, obviously it's hot, but I can still touch it without burning myself. I've tested flashlights that got much hotter at the head even after a minute, so it's not that bad. All right, so next the water test. So of course this is IP68 rated, so it should be able to handle about 7 inches of water, which I have right here. But I still like to do this test regardless, just to see for myself. So I'm gonna turn it on, let me get it off of high. So right there, and I'm just gonna plop it in and, yep, right to the bottom. I'm gonna let it sit there for a couple seconds. So IP68, it's dust proof and waterproof up to 2 meters. And with that rating, it's submersible indefinitely. So I'm just curious to see how this turns out. And obviously, yeah, it's not gonna have any problem at all with this little bit of water. So what about if the flap is open? So I'm just gonna open the flap to the USB Type-C and hopefully it doesn't burn it out, but there it goes. Okay, so far so good. And yeah, as you can see, the flap is still open there and seems to still be working. Like I said, with that rating, I have no doubt that I was gonna pass this test, but I just wanted to test out this flap too with the USB charging port. So it looks like it's pretty solid with this flap open or closed. All right, so next I want to take this out to my backyard and show you guys what this looks like in the dark. So this is 1200 lumens with a throw of 202 meters. So I wanted to test it out against my Phoenix LD30. Now my Phoenix is 1600 lumens with a throw of 205 meters versus 202 meters. And once again, this is 10,200 candela. My Phoenix is 10,302 candela. So I figured this would be a pretty good comparison to show you guys what the LD30 looked like versus the MH12 version 2. All right, so let's take these out to my backyard. All right, so that was a pretty interesting test. So overall, I think the Phoenix LD30 was a little bit brighter, but the MH12 version 2 had a nice, tight, brighter hotspot. And remember, this is only 1200 lumens versus 1600 lumens. And yes, the Phoenix does have 102 candela more than the Nitecore. But like I said, I think the Phoenix was a brighter flashlight. It lit up more area. But if you're looking for a nice, tight, bright hotspot, I think this MH12 version 2 is a pretty decent, solid light. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you guys think of the Nitecore MH12 version 2? Overall, I think it's a pretty solid flashlight. I really like the output that comes out of this light. I love that bright hotspot that this thing produces. I really like the tail switch, and I like the switchable modes to the side switch. I don't, however, like the access to the special modes where you have to hold this down and stop on the mode that you want. I think the USB Type-C is a nice touch. They give you a pretty decent holster. I love the pocket clip. Overall, I'd have to give this light a 4 out of 5. And right now, Nitecore is asking $79.95 for this light. So you can either pick this up on the Nitecore website or on Amazon for $79.95. I'll have both links below in my description box. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe and go!